be talking about Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog is one of the few filmmakers, as a rule, finds stories and creates worlds from the most random of characters and places. He's as much of an open book as he is an enigma. And if that seems like a contradiction, it is one most likely curated and attended to by Herzog himself.
It's not only my dreams. My belief is that all these dreams are yours as well. And the only distinction between me and you is that I can articulate them. And that is what poetry or painting or literature or filmmaking is all about. It's as simple as that. And I make films because I have not learned anything else. And I know I can do it to a certain degree. And it is my duty, because this might be the inner chronicle of what we are. And we have to articulate ourselves, otherwise we would be cows in a field.
A trademark of Herzog's is that he is always finding ways to make documentaries seem more like narratives and narratives more like documentaries. And by that I mean that he is always putting things in each that you don't necessarily think to find there. I think when people go to watch a documentary, they have an idea of what a documentary should feel like, should be, and he kind of throws you, he kind of twists it. And I think that that's one of the things that he does consciously. He sneaks narrative filmmaking ideas into documentary films. And it's one reason why his documentaries stand out so much.
It's all movies that I make. The documentaries are not real documentaries. Many of them are feature films in disguise, as I keep saying. I stylize, I invent, I do things that the accountants of truth would not do. But I'm a storyteller.
He's been making films, both documentary and narrative, short and feature, for the better part of half a century. And he's somebody who I feel has helped push cinema, pull cinema, move cinema in multiple directions. He's definitely a part of his films, and Truffaut once said that he was one of the most important filmmakers today. Herzog has always been willing to go to extremes to work on narrative projects. In his films Heart of Glass, the actors worked under hypnosis, giving the film an odd tone and pace. In Herzog, his characters travel from a rundown, gnarly Berlin to the barren wastelands of wintry Wisconsin.
Meine Damen und Herren, der Bruno wird auf dem Glockenspiel was durchgeben. Der Bruno hat nämlich jetzt die Eva bei sich.
And of course there's Fitzcarraldo, where he pulls a ship over a mountain, literally. And that was not only captured on his film, but in the companion piece by filmmaker Les Blank in his film, Burden of Dreams.
We still are filmmakers, we still are creators, we still, or at least I do, articulate opinions, I stylize, I really cast the most fascinating characters.
Cave of Forgotten Dreams speaks to the awakening of the human soul and how through art we try to defy our own mortality, or at least find a way to represent it, to represent ourselves, to represent the world around us. Into the Abyss takes us into the final days of a convicted murderer and looks at capital punishment from an ambiguous perspective. The film is rare in that it allows the audience's own views and perspectives to find the conclusion of whether capital punishment is right or wrong. In one of his newest documentaries, lo and behold, Reveries of the Connected World, Herzog looks at the history of the internet, technology, and the future of artificial intelligence, and where we may be going as a species alongside such advances. As a filmmaker, Herzog believes in stylization. No matter what kind of film he makes, he's stylizing it. And I think this can be seen in his documentaries a lot more than his narrative films. I feel like that when you go into watching a documentary film, you have an idea of what that is. And he kind of surprises people by the way he structures those narratives in a documentary film. I don't think that he is trying to fool anyone, but he's definitely throwing people off and bringing you into a world and using his strengths as a narrative filmmaker, as a feature filmmaker, to create documentaries. You've never heard more real anecdotes and just opinions from somebody. He certainly doesn't hold back. That's another trademark of Herzog, is that he is very much open to speaking about his films, speaking about anything, speaking about his life.
What was dormant in me, it's very hard to say. I don't like introspection. I don't like to look at myself in the mirror. I do have to do that when I shave, for example. But I don't look into my eyes. Until today, I do not know the color of my eyes. And I swear to God, I do not know the color of my eyes. So introspection is the last thing I would be into it.